In 2004, we graduated our first class of seniors, and each one was accepted to a four-year college. Our rallying cry for so long had been college, and so we were incredibly proud of their accomplishment. But a few years later, we stopped and we looked at their graduation rates, and they were only around 50%. So it was 100% acceptance, but 50% graduation. Something wasn't right. So with funding we secured from an outside grant, we started a new position, the Director of Alumni Programming.
As the Director of Alumni Programming, I am not a tutor. The way I think of it is I'm a postgraduate guidance counselor. I'm there to provide social, emotional, career support, and kind of take a role of almost a cheerleader. I'm really trying to, give them the pep talks they need. So many first-generation students, which are so many of our students, don't have the benefit of being able to call home and ask a lot of the questions that I was able to ask both of my parents who were college graduates. I can remember the first time seeing the bursar's office and saying, I have never heard that word. What is a bursar's office? Well, I could call home or I could look it up. A lot of our students, just when they're put into that type of an environment where not only does everything look unfamiliar and the people are unfamiliar, it's just it adds to the overall intimidation factor, which can lead to a lower success rate when it comes to persistence.
John does a lot of things to make our graduates feel at home on campus. He bakes them cookies, he sends them care packages, he friends them on Facebook, he follows them on Twitter. His role is to make sure that our graduates fully access the resources and supports available through BCCS. And the best way this happens? Visiting our alumni on campus.
So I'm at Northeastern University right now, visiting one of our alums. Go Huskies. What Boston Collegiate has done is they've really taken a look at my academic schedule and decided to make sure that any classes I would be teaching would be later in the day, after lunch, fifth or sixth periods. And that allows me to get around to some of these local colleges and connect with students. But there's also one day a week where I don't teach any classes so that I can go a little further if I need to get away and be able to connect with students, connect with multiple students. It's not unusual for me to go and have lunch at one college campus with a couple of kids and then maybe drive to another side of the state and end up having dinner with another 4 or 5 students and then having some individual time in between with each of those students, which is really the goal, so they get some of that one-on-one time. But you need to have a day built in, and if I had to come back here and teach 4 sections a day, it just wouldn't work. Long time no see. Grab a seat. So how's everything going?
Pretty good. So
Good.
far, yeah.
What are you doing to get involved here? You getting in any clubs or anything? You going to any athletic events yet? Or?
Yeah, I went to a basketball game, but I'm in the community service for my scholarship.
Okay,
so that
gotcha.
takes up a lot of my time.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Something to keep an eye on, just for resume building, is if there is a business club.
Oh, I'm actually in the Women in Business Club. I started last semester. I had to take a break because of all the work. But
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Awesome, because that's definitely something,
I think when I realized I was at college was probably like this week. I honestly had that moment. I was walking through our quad and I just looked up at the building that said Northeastern University and I was like, huh, I'm in college, I guess. This is my schedule now.
We have recognized that it's not just about the academics. You can have a 3.7 and still be miserable where you are, and you can only last so long if you're miserable. So it's really important that we work on the rest of that, and some of that work is done at the college, and some of that work begins right here at Boston Collegiate. Question.
When John's not baking cookies or visiting our alumni on campus, he's teaching collegiate skills to our upperclassmen. This is a mandatory course, and it covers things like college fit and college acceptance, visiting the bursar's office, and filling out financial aid forms.
I think they prepped me really well for the FAFSA because when I started filling it out the other day, I already was like, oh, I already know all the answers to these questions. I just need to remember my mom's information and then I could fill it all out. And I think just like going on college tours and looking around and saying, like, listening to everyone be like, you need to have like your own schedule and manage your time. And I think like listening to that made me realize like coming in right away that I needed to like write stuff down know where I'm going. I put everything in my calendar and get alerts like a day before, an hour before, just so I don't forget to go to any meetings or do anything.
Our mission has grown. We used to only think about college acceptance, but now we work hard to support our alumni through college graduation.